Antarctica, Earth's southernmost continent, is a land enshrouded in ice and mystery. This vast icy expanse has captivated the imaginations of explorers, scientists, and conspiracy theorists alike, offering a canvas for some of the most intriguing and unexplained mysteries of our time. From ancient lost civilizations and extraterrestrial bases to covert military operations and uncharted natural wonders, Antarctica invites us to question what we know of our world's history, its present, and the possibilities that lie hidden beneath kilometers of ice. And now, a former US naval officer has stunned the whole world by revealing to have seen the entrance to a secret alien base and UFOs while on duty in the Antarctic. But could this claim be true? And is there something the US government is aware of? Embark on a journey of discovery with us as we dig deep into world-shattering revelations about Antarctica and what's hidden behind its menacing ice sheet. Covering an area of 14 million square kilometers, Antarctica is the fifth largest continent, but it remains the least understood. Hidden away from the rest of the world at the Earth's southernmost tip, Antarctica is arguably the most intriguing and mysterious place on our planet. The coveted seventh continent has been capturing the imagination of adventurous spirits for centuries, promising awe-inspiring wonders and the creepiest mysteries. Despite being larger than both Oceania and Europe, Antarctica is a unique continent in that it does not have a native human population. There are no countries in Antarctica. 7 countries made defined claims to Antarctic territory prior to the Antarctic Treaty of 1959. But the treaty does not legally recognize any claims. Regardless, people do live in Antarctica. Each year, the number of people living in Antarctica fluctuates between 1,000 and 4,000 people. A majority of the people who live in Antarctica are scientists and staff at research stations. However, many return home during the austral winters, leaving smaller overwintering crews. In addition, Antarctica is home to a surprising amount of animals. There are numerous species of penguins, seals, and marine birds in Antarctica, as well as a wide variety of sea life and whales just off the coasts of Antarctica. Despite what some may assume, there are no polar bears in Antarctica. Those are found in the Arctic. While there are many living creatures, Antarctica is a land of extremes. It is the coldest, driest, and windiest place on Earth. 90% of the world's ice covers the Antarctic continent. The Antarctic ice sheet covers over 14 million square kilometers, and ice covers approximately 98% of the land that lies beneath. The ice can also be several kilometers thick, especially under the Antarctic Plateau, a mountain as towering as Japan's Mount Fuji at 3,800 meters would not even break the surface. At its deepest, Antarctica's ice is 4.5 kilometers thick. That's half the height of Mount Everest. If it all melted, global sea levels would rise about 60 meters. The lowest temperature ever recorded in Antarctica is -89.2 degrees C, set in 1983 at the Soviet Union's Vostok station. Recently, satellites with advanced sensor systems measured even colder temperatures from space, detecting surface temperatures as low as -97.8 degrees C. For explorers venturing inland to the South Pole and other destinations, the wind chill effect can make things feel even colder than the measurable temperature. Its extreme conditions and inaccessible terrain have made it a challenging subject for study, preserving its secrets under a thick blanket of ice that has not melted for millions of years. This isolation has spurred countless theories about what lies beneath the surface, from ancient artifacts of lost civilizations to evidence of alien visitation and hidden military installations. The history of Antarctica is as vast and varied as the ice sheets that cover it. The continent's discovery is attributed to the Russian expedition, led by Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen and Mikhail Lazarev in 1820, but ancient maps, such as the Perirae Map of 1513, suggest a knowledge of Antarctica's coastline before it was covered by ice. These maps raise questions about the extent of ancient civilizations' explorations and their understanding of the globe. Could they have visited Antarctica, leaving behind remnants of their presence now buried under the ice? One of the most tantalizing episodes in Antarctica's history is Operation High Jump, officially titled the United States Navy Antarctic Developments Program, 1946-1947. Led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd, the operation was a massive military exercise that included 13 ships, over 4,000 men, and numerous aircraft. Officially, it was aimed at establishing the Antarctic research base Little America 4, but the sudden and early termination of the mission has fueled speculation about encounters with unknown technologies or entities. Eyewitness accounts from the operation describe sightings of unidentified flying objects and advanced aircraft, suggesting a cover-up of an otherworldly nature. The alien hypothesis in Antarctica is bolstered by numerous accounts of UFOs and strange phenomena. Reports of silver disks darting across the sky, often at speeds and with maneuvers beyond the capabilities of known aircraft, are common among those who have worked or lived on the continent. These accounts lend credence to theories that Antarctica is a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity, possibly serving as a base or a waypoint for alien visitors. The secrecy surrounding these sightings, often enforced by military or governmental agencies, only adds to the mystique and speculation. But it's worth noting that while rumors of extraterrestrial activity have circulated for years, there are accounts claiming an extraterrestrial presence in Antarctica today. In July 2018, U.S. conspiracy theorist investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe, who has received awards for her paranormal research through the website earthfiles.com, interviewed a whistleblower who, under the condition of anonymity, provided classified information regarding Antarctica. The source, a former Navy man identified, was referred to only as Brian, shared details of an ancient structure he claims to have visited during his time at the South Pole. Brian, who claims to be a retired U.S. Navy first-class petty officer flight engineer, serving in a squadron called Antarctic Development Squadron 6, reported he was a part of a crew that flew through a no-fly zone above Antarctica and saw UFOs, aliens, and a giant entrance hole to an alien base. He said he was stationed there between 1983 and 1997, and on several occasions saw aerial silver discs flying over the Transantarctic Mountains. In the interview with Mrs. Howe, Brian claimed there is a top-secret collaboration between humans and aliens, with Antarctica a major research ground for the projects. He claimed the large hole was 8 to 16 kilometers from the South Pole, in the supposed no-fly zone. He also said a group of scientists had gone missing for a week and came back terrified and refusing to speak. Then, at a camp near Marie Byrd Land, some dozen scientists disappeared for 2 weeks, and when they reappeared, Brian's flight crew received the assignment to pick them up. He said they would not talk, and their faces looked scared. In an email to Mrs. Howe, he wrote, "Another unique issue with South Pole Station is that our aircraft was not allowed to fly over a certain area, designated 8 kilometers from the station. The reason stated because of an air sampling camp in that area. This did not make any sense to any of us on the crew, because on 2 different occasions we had to fly over this area. It was on the opposite side of the continent, and we had to refuel at South Pole, and a direct course to this Davis camp was right over the air sampling station. The only thing we saw going over this camp was a very large hole going into the ice. You could fly one of our LC-130s into this thing." Talk among the flight crews was that there is a UFO base at South Pole, and some of the crew heard talk from some of the scientists working with and interacting with the scientists at that air sampling camp large ice hole. Earthfiles then published a redacted DD 214 document and Antarctic Service Medal, awarded to Brian November 20, 1984, in a bid to confirm his credentials. The claims have caused ripples in the whole UFO community. As an article on unsilentmajoritynews.com said, "Over the years, there have been a ton of articles on the internet dealing with the mysteries and anomalies that involve the Antarctic. Many of them have been debunked, or at least the person writing claims to have debunked various stories. What makes this story far more credible than many others is who did the research." Linda Moulton Howe isn't some internet hack. She's an Emmy Award-winning TV producer, investigative reporter for radio and internet, and author who goes directly to the men and women at the forefront of science and environmental breakthroughs, and to first-hand eyewitnesses of high strangeness. This raises the question, could there truly be mysterious structures buried at the South Pole? Were they constructed by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization in our remote past? While Brian's story still has many riddles, elsewhere in the vast frozen wasteland of Antarctica, a team of scientists stumbled upon a discovery that would reshape the course of human history. Deep amid the icy expanse, a series of massive stone pyramids had been found. Their ancient forms stand in stark contrast to their desolate surroundings. The revelation sent shockwaves through the scientific community and ignited the imagination of the world. The initial sighting of the pyramids defied all logic. As the team approached, the scale of the structures became apparent. They towered over the icy landscape like silent sentinels of an ancient civilization. The pyramids were perfectly preserved. Each one displayed its own intricate carvings and symbols that seemed otherworldly. The story of how these pyramids were discovered begins with a team of researchers from the University of Cambridge who were conducting a routine survey of the Antarctic ice shelf. Their aim was to study the changes in the ice thickness and its impact on the environment. But what they found instead was something they could never have anticipated. As they flew over the area, the team noticed something unusual, a series of triangular shapes jutting out of the ice. They immediately radioed their base station to report the strange sighting. The team was instructed to land at a nearby research station and gather more data. The researchers quickly put together a team of experts from different fields, including geology, archaeology, and climate science, to investigate the mysterious structures. The team faced several challenges as they set out to explore the pyramids. The first and most obvious obstacle was the extreme weather conditions, with temperatures plummeting well below -40 degrees C. The team had to wear specialized gear to stay warm, and every move had to be calculated to avoid the risk of hypothermia. The second challenge was the thickness of the ice, which was estimated to be several hundred meters. The researchers had to use ground-penetrating radar and other specialized equipment to map out the area beneath the ice. After months of painstaking research, the team finally had their breakthrough. They discovered that the pyramids were made of a type of rock that was not native to the region, leading them to believe that they were constructed by an advanced civilization that had the ability to transport massive rocks across vast distances. The team also found several chambers within the pyramids, which were believed to have served different purposes. One chamber, for instance, was filled with an unusual type of liquid that was found to be a potent antimicrobial agent. This discovery led to speculation that the civilization that built the pyramids may have been far more advanced than previously thought. Another chamber contained a series of glyphs and hieroglyphs that were similar to those found in ancient Egyptian pyramids. The team hypothesized that the civilization that built the Antarctic pyramids may have had some kind of connection to ancient Egypt. The discovery of the pyramids beneath the Antarctic ice sparked a global media frenzy. The news was picked up by major news outlets around the world, and social media was abuzz with speculation about what the discovery could mean. Some people saw it as evidence of extraterrestrial life or advanced alien civilizations, while others speculated that it could be a remnant of a lost civilization that had somehow managed to survive the harsh conditions of Antarctica. Two of the Antarctica pyramids can be found 16 kilometers from the coast. The third pyramid is located near the shoreline. The discovery of these pyramids suggests that Antarctica may have been inhabited by humans sometime in the past 6,000 years. It was around this time that man was building pyramids in the Old World. Charles Hapgood's research supports the possible existence of an ancient civilization on a continent which is now covered by ice. In Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings, Dr. Charles Hapgood published the Perirae Map of Antarctica. This 16th century map shocked the world because it showed Antarctica without ice. The Perirae Map was found in Turkey. A Turkish naval officer sent the map to the U.S. Navy Hydrographic Bureau in 1953. M.I. Walters, the chief engineer of the Bureau, sent the map to Arlington H. Mallory to be evaluated. Mallory determined that the Perirae map was completely accurate and may have been copied from a map made 6,000 years ago. The Perirae map of Antarctica is very accurate. Using seismic soundings and sonar, researchers found that underneath the ice cap, the coastlines, mountain ranges, plateaus, etc. On the Perirae map matched the Queen Maud Land in Antarctica. Ohlmeyer, leader of the British-Swedish expedition to Antarctica, wrote Hapgood the following letter. The letter from Ohlmeyer confirmed Dr. Charles Hapgood's theory that the Perirae map was probably copied from a map made in ancient times. Dr. Charles Hapgood wrote in Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings that he was sure that although the Perirae map contained latitudes and longitudes plotted out at right angles in a traditional plane geometry, it had to have been based on an earlier map. Hapgood was also sure that the map was ancient in origin because the Perirae map's creator used spheroid trigonometry, which was thought to have been invented in the 18th century, even though the Perirae map has been dated to 1513. No matter what the origin of the snow pyramids may actually be, the discovery of these mysterious features will increase speculation on the possible human habitation of Antarctica in recent history. In other words, the discovery of the pyramids beneath the Antarctic ice was a landmark moment in the history of science and archaeology. It challenged our understanding of ancient civilizations and their ability to thrive in extreme conditions. On the other hand, the pyramids were undeniably of an intelligence that was alien in origin. This, obviously, could upend everything we think we know about the conventional narrative of human history. Theories about extraterrestrial influence on Earth's ancient civilizations had long been the stuff of speculation. However, now, concrete evidence stood before the world. News of the Antarctic pyramids spread like wildfire across the globe, captivating the imagination of people from all walks of life. Governments, scientists, and conspiracy theorists alike grappled with the implications. The realization that ancient extraterrestrial beings had visited Earth and left behind a technological legacy raised profound questions about humanity's place in the cosmos. As the world grappled with the revelation, nations scrambled to establish a presence in Antarctica. Scientific teams and military units flocked to the frozen continent. All were eager to study the pyramids and unlock the mysteries they held. In another startling discovery, a team of researchers has spotted a weird upside-down world lurks beneath Antarctica's ice. Researchers recently brought this hidden world into the light, revealing a dark and jagged cavern filled with swarms of tiny shrimp-like creatures. The scientists found the secret subterranean habitat tucked away beneath the Larsen Ice Shelf, a massive floating sheet of ice attached to the eastern coast of the Antarctic Peninsula that famously birthed the world's largest iceberg in 2021. Satellite photos showed an unusual groove in the ice shelf close to where it met with the land, and researchers identified the peculiar feature as a subsurface river, which they described in a statement. The team drilled down around 600 meters below the ice's surface, using a powerful hot water hose to reach the underground chamber. When the researchers sent a camera down through the icy tunnel and into the cavern, hundreds of tiny, blurry flecks in the water obscured the video feed. Initially, the team thought their equipment was faulty, but after refocusing the camera, they realized that the lens was being swarmed by tiny crustaceans known as amphipods. This caught the team off guard, as they had not expected to find any type of life this far below the icy surface. According to Craig Stevens, a physical oceanographer at the National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research, having all those animals swimming around our camera means there's clearly an important ecosystem process happening there. The discovery of the secret shrimp-infested structure had the team jumping up and down for joy. Experts have long suspected that there is a vast network of rivers, lakes, and estuaries underneath Antarctica, but until now these features have been poorly studied. It was previously unknown if they harbored life, which makes the new finding even more important. Getting to observe and sample this river was like being the first to enter a hidden world. Lead researcher Hugh Horgan, a glaciologist at Te Herenga Waka Victoria University of Wellington in New Zealand, told The Guardian. Horgan first spotted hints of the subsurface structure in 2020 while looking at a satellite photo of the area. It was visible as a long depression, or groove, stretching across the ice, a hallmark of an underground river. However, despite being prominent in the satellite images, the groove initially eluded surface detection, Stevens said. But then we found this tiny, gentle slope and guessed we'd got the right spot. After sending the camera down into the river, the team was surprised to learn that the cavern looked drastically different from what they had predicted. The researchers had expected that the roof of the chamber would be smooth and flat, but instead, they found that the roof was very uneven and had lots of steep undulations. The cavern was also much wider nearer the roof. It looked like a loaf of bread, with a bulge at the top and narrow slope at the bottom, Stevens said. The researchers also unexpectedly discovered that the water column underground split into 4 or 5 distinct layers of water, flowing in opposite directions. In the words of Stevens, this changes our current understanding and models of these environments. And according to Brittany Schmidt, who works at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, a glaciologist, what witnessed here looked otherworldly, like something out of Alice in Wonderland. This dark, frigid place may seem extreme to us, but animals had adapted to make it home. And with 99.99% of the ocean beneath Antarctica's floating ice shelves still unexplored, plenty of other weird, undiscovered life may share these waters. In fact, according to Craig Smith, a seafloor ecologist at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, who spent 20 years exploring waters around Antarctica, it's not just possible, it's a certainty. These strange animals show us that life can thrive in some bizarre places on Earth. The under-ice communities could also hint at what kinds of life might exist in places much further afield, such as in the outer reaches of our solar system. Few people realize it, but much of Antarctica's ice sheet sits below sea level in a shallow bowl. The ice is thick enough that its upper surface rises far above the water, making it look like an ordinary continent. As rivers of ice ooze toward the edges of the continent, they thin until they peel off the seafloor and float. A floating ice shelf can extend anywhere from several kilometers to 600 kilometers off the coast. Water beneath ice shelves is cut off from sunlight, the energy that sustains most life on Earth, and photosynthesis. So for a long time, people had assumed little life existed under these ice shelves. But clues that something might have carved out a home under the ice, and in it, have been slowly emerging. After all, these discoveries about Antarctica were staggering. The discovery has sparked a renewed interest in the idea of discovering lost civilizations and exploring uncharted territories. The discovery of the pyramids beneath the Antarctic ice is a testament to the power of human curiosity and the boundless potential of scientific discovery. It has shown us that there is still so much we don't know about our world and the civilizations that came before us. It has reminded us that science is not just about finding answers, but about asking questions, challenging assumptions, and pushing the boundaries of what we know. As we look to the future, the discovery of the Antarctic pyramids is a reminder of the importance of scientific research and exploration. It is a call to action for us to continue to explore our world, to push the limits of what we know, and to keep asking questions about the mysteries that still remain. It is a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge is a never-ending journey, and that there is always something new to discover. That's all the information that we have for you today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you never miss out on future episodes. And be sure to also tell us what you think about today's content. Everyone's support motivates us to continue delivering quality content and to always improve.